Yo, what's up guys, it's Tbag, and god damn, do you hear that sound quality? That's right, after I don't know how many months, I finally decided to upgrade from a shitty $1 microphone to a blue snowball. That's what you're hearing right now. This is my new blue snowball. I haven't played around with it that much, so this is just the stock audio. Let me know if you like this as it is, or should I tweak some things? Let me know. For now I think this is just fine. Okay, so for today's video, as you can see by the title, we are gonna talk about what we want to see in Battlefield 2018. So the next Battlefield title, and I'm not talking about new time periods or stuff like that. I already made a video on that topic. You can check it out if you want. Link is down below. In this video we're gonna talk about some big changes that could alter the whole game, but in a good way of course. Now Battlefield 1 is almost a year old and we got 2 DLCs. We have a pretty well educated opinion on the game and what we want to see improved on the next title. So let's talk about the first thing I want to see in the next Battlefield game, and that is a proper Battle Royale game mode. Battle Royale games are currently insanely popular, and with good reason in my opinion, because it's so much fun. The whole concept of a Battle Royale game mode is just so cool, and it could fit perfectly into Battlefield. Just think about it, the maps in Battlefield are huge as it is, and with the Frostbite engine, I mean, can you imagine how cool that would be? And you may think, well, we need bigger maps for a Battle Royale game mode in a Battlefield game. And I would say, well, make bigger maps. That's something for the next Battlefield game. Bigger maps. It could be that they make like huge maps for the Battle Royale game mode and then make them a bit smaller for Conquest and then even smaller for Team Deathmatch and Domination and stuff like that. It's nothing new that they reduce the size of a map to fit a certain game mode. Not even to mention that I think a game mode like this will boost their sales sky high. I mean, look at PUBG, look at PlayerUnknown's Battleground, currently the biggest and most popular game on Steam. People just love Battle Royale games, myself included, so make bigger maps and add a Battle Royale game mode. Which brings me to my second point, bigger maps needs more players. So why not bump up the 64 player count to, let's say, double that, 128. It would make sense, right? I know balance would become a little bit harder to manage, but DICE is a competent studio, and with the help of this awesome community, I'm sure they would make it work. It would also be more in line with the large-scale battles that Battlefield is known for. Can you imagine a 64 versus 64 match? That would be insane. Don't get me wrong, 32 versus 32 is already great, but I think in combination with larger maps it could work out great. Sure, the consoles need to work a little bit harder in a sense, but Battlefield 1 is just so incredibly optimized already. I would be shocked if this were the reason for them not to do it. Now I know what you're thinking, Tbag, 128 players, that means getting sniped from every direction. And I thought of that as well, because that's my next point. Sniping has always been a lot of fun in Battlefield, whether you were sniping from 1000 meters away in Battlefield 4 or aggressive sniping in Battlefield 1, it is awesome. But in Battlefield 1, with the increased bullet velocity and reduced bullet drop, it is a bit too easy in my opinion. It doesn't feel like really sniping, if you know what I mean. It's more quick scoping, and a lot of people like that, and that's totally fine. But what I want to see in the next Battlefield game is this: when you aim down your scope, only the view through your scope is magnified, so you don't just zoom in your whole screen. I think that's a little bit outdated, to be honest. Recent games like Rise and Storm 2 Vietnam also has this mechanic, and not only does it look cool and aesthetically pleasing, it also adds a new dimension of skill to it, if you will, because if you know how real scopes work, you need to look through the center of the scope to get a 100% clear image. If you wobble around too much, you would defocus in a sense and lose your vision, so you wouldn't be able to strafe as much like you see a lot in Battlefield 1. It also takes a second or two to calibrate your aim in-game, obviously. Because there are 2 fields being rendered, the magnified scope and the field outside of the scope. And don't tell me this is too much for the Frostbite engine to render, because even quote-unquote low-budget games like Killing Floor 2 has this mechanic, which is the game you see on the screen right now. If they can do it, DICE can definitely do it 10 times better. I think this mechanic alone will reduce the so-called sniper spam, no more quick scoping, save that for Call of Duty. This will bring in a proper sniper playstyle. Of course, this is just my opinion, and you are more than welcome to share yours in the comment section below. Now, people by now can say, yeah, basically it all comes down to just add more content, and yeah, that's basically what it is, but I want to go a little bit more in depth with this, because what kind of content do we mean? Sure, more guns and stuff like that would be nice, which is definitely on my list as well, that goes without saying. But what about game modes? Battlefield 1 has brought a new game mode called Operations, and people absolutely love that, but it looks like they totally forgot about the classic game modes. Game modes like Gunmaster, where you have to get 2 kills with each gun in order to progress up a ladder, and whoever gets a kill with the final weapon, usually a knife or something like that, gets the win. It's a game mode I played so many times in Battlefield 4, and I still play it actually. I made a video on it a while back, if you want to check it out, link is down below. Game modes like this adds another flavor, if you will, to Battlefield, if you know what I mean. Sometimes I get a little bit bored from casually shooting people in Conquest or TDM, and in Battlefield 4 I used to get into a quick round or two of Gunmaster to avoid this boredom. And it actually lets you play competitively, since it's either win or lose. You don't win as a team, you win on your own. You know, first place, like a race. This is, in my opinion, just awesome. But also game modes like air superiority or even tank superiority, you know, just to switch things up a bit. I remember a while back, like a couple years back, when playing Black Ops 1, Call of Duty Black Ops, that game had so many things to do. Of course you had the single player and the multiplayer, but you also had zombies, you had those wager matches, if you can remember, you had a gun game, which is basically Gunmaster like I already mentioned, you had Sharpshooter, which is a game mode where everyone has the same guns and you switch automatically every 45 seconds, and whoever gets the most kill at the end of the round wins, which was a lot of fun too. You had Sticks and Stones, One in the Chamber, which was unbelievably fun to play with friends. You even had that arcade shooter where you had that from above perspective, I can't quite remember the name, which was by the way also playable with up to 4 people. You know, things like that really adds a lot to a game in my opinion. It's there to switch things up a bit. You don't need to play the same goddamn game modes over and over and over again. I think Battlefield 4 had something like 15 game modes at the end, which were maybe a little bit too many, but you get my point. Now, I don't say this won't be in Battlefield 1, it could be very well be in the next DLC, in the future DLCs, who knows, we can only hope. Next thing on my list is customization. Yes, I finally said it, and I mean customization in every aspect, from your weaponry to your soldier's character. Again, totally absent in Battlefield 1, it's been there in Battlefield 4 a little bit, maybe not that much, but even so, it's better than nothing. You could alter your soldier's uniform to a couple of presets, and same goes for your parachute if I'm not mistaken. Again, other games like Rise and Storm 2 Vietnam has this kind of personal customization. Even Battlefield Play for Free, which is a very old Battlefield game, it's not available anymore, had soldier customization. And let's say the next Battlefield game would be set in the Vietnam War era. For the sake of this video, you know how many options you would have to alter your soldier's appearance. You can name it, from short sleeves to long sleeves to tank tops to different kinds of helmet, whatever you can think of. Just look up some original photos from that war and you'd see a lot of soldiers look different in terms of the clothing and stuff like that. Also, while we are on the subject of customization, let's talk about weapon customization. Currently in Battlefield 1 non-existent, you can only choose from weapon variants and then choose whether or not you want to equip a bayonet. Well, back in Battlefield Hardline, they introduced something called the gun bench. The gun bench was a place where you could test out different guns, but also alter their looks. You could change the reticles on the scopes and red dots, and also the skin and the wear and tear of those skins. If we could see something like that in the next Battlefield title, that would be awesome. Alongside the possible add-ons like extra accessories, for example adding tape to a bot stock and stuff like that. Again, personal customization is something a lot of fans wants to see in a Battlefield game. As do I, as long as the weapon appearance is representing the era or time period the game is setting. So no special dark matter camo skin in a World War II setting, for example. And last but not least is something I want to see returning in the next Battlefield game, and that is the same or as close as possible as we can get to the gunplay we had in Battlefield 4. In my opinion, the gun mechanics and the gunplay was 100% perfection in Battlefield 4. As you know, in Battlefield 1 we have a lot of random bullet deviation, So tap firing is not really a thing in Battlefield 1. Now I have heard that they are trying to tweak this a little bit in the CTE, but I'm not sure how this will play out in the vanilla game. We just need to wait and see that, but Battlefield 4 gunplay was incredible in my opinion. Would love to see that return. Oh, before I end the video, of course the removal of the premium pass. Star Wars Battlefront 2 will not have a season pass as far as I know, so it is very likely the same will go for the next Battlefield game. We can just only hope. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. Please share your opinions and your thoughts on this subject down below in the comment section. I really want to know what you want to see in the next Battlefield game. And with that being said, I see you guys next time.